Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you all had an amazing summer. This is the Hartford Performs Orientation Part 1 for the 2019-2020 school year with Hartford Public Schools. This video was previously recorded and shared on August 13th, 2019. Part 2 will be released in September. My name is Emily Wineski. I'm the Programming Director for Hartford Performs and will be speaking throughout this video. On the screen, you should see my contact information, email, and phone number, as well as the pronunciation of my last name, which sounds like one S key, and my preferred pronouns, which are she and her. The purpose of this video is to delve into our shared mission, to be enthusiastically transparent and to stay connected. Whether you are new to Hartford Performs this year or have been a long-time arts provider, I think you will find this orientation helpful in understanding our big picture mission and how integral you are a part of that. The runtime for this orientation is around 20 minutes. So this is not just a passive watching experience. Know that your voice matters. In conjunction with this video, you should have received an invitation from Hartford Performs at gmail.com to join the 2019-2020 Arts Provider Google Classroom. If you join, you can view this video and more in the future, post comments, respond to my questions, and ask your own questions. You can also see other arts providers' comments, questions, and answers. As a team working together, we can be mighty. Introductions first to the Hartford Performs office team. We have had some changes recently. Our former marketing and development manager, Tracy Ruggles, has moved on to start a new career in teaching. We wish Tracy all the best. We have 3 full-time staff. Janika Brown Springer is our new development and marketing manager. We are so excited to have Janika on board, and she is excited to meet you. Bree Poirier Campbell, our executive director, and myself. We also have 2 part-time staff, Quiana Grant, continuing this year as program assistant, and Colleen Estes is our finance manager. Here's a picture of all of us. Again, I hope you can attend our quarterly meetings this year to welcome Janika. While we all have different responsibilities, we all work towards a common goal, along with all of you. I want to spend some time talking about our shared goal and unpacking our mission and vision so you have a better understanding of the impetus behind our decision making and the direction that Hartford Performs is heading in as we head into 2020. The vision at Hartford Performs is that the arts are integral to student success in Hartford Public Schools, meaning the arts must be a part of the school day and classroom time for students to be successful in school. In unpacking this vision, I'd like to know, why do you think the arts are integral to student success in Hartford schools? If you've joined our Google Classroom, please take a moment to pause this video and go post your responses. I'm really looking forward to reading those comments. Go ahead, pause. We'll wait. Just make sure you come back. For me, the arts are integral to student success because creating, imagination, and play are essential to how you learn. By participating in the process of creating art, we learn about taking risks, working together, failing and trying again, and we learn how to solve problems and think beyond the norm. As arts educators, we create spaces where students are critical thinkers, engaged in their learning, making connections with people and ideas, and creating change. As arts educators in Hartford, we are disruptors to larger educational systems that do not support our Black and Brown students. Again, I'm going to ask you to dig deep and tell us why you think the arts are integral to student success in Hartford schools. Pause this video. Please post your responses or go take a look at what others have posted and make sure you come back. Our mission is to connect all Hartford Public School students to quality arts experiences that advance student learning and deepen engagement in community. Our Hartford Public School classrooms are rich with arts programming. Under the direction of our close partner, Tracy Avicoli, who's the Director of Arts and Wellness, Hartford Public Schools employs full-time and part-time visual arts, music, drama, and dance teachers to teach arts-focused curriculum. Grade level teachers enhance their curriculum with the arts. Teachers are willing and eager to learn arts integration strategies to deepen student learning. Hartford Performs is not a replacement for essential certified teachers or the quality arts experiences that already occur in Hartford homes and communities. We engage and deepen student learning experiences during classroom time. We provide connections to the arts community for students and teachers where financial barriers might otherwise exist. The main component that gives us a seat at the district table and builds bridges into the classroom is that all of our programming connect to both an art form and a subject area, both intrinsically and with the national standards to support the work. This is critical in what we do. We are thoroughly rooted in arts integration, which, as you know, is an approach to teaching in which students construct and demonstrate understanding through an art form. Students engage in a creative process which connects an art form to another subject area and meets objectives in both. Hartford Performs programming includes student programs, professional learning for teachers, and professional learning for you, our arts providers. I'm going to break down all of those over the next few minutes and how they are connected to our mission, starting with students. For student programs last year, we reached all Hartford Public School students in grades pre-K to 8, working with 13,000 students in 665 classrooms. That's about 17 hours of arts programs every school day. That's pretty remarkable what all of you do. To meet our mission, we continue to work on expanding to high school. Those next steps are twofold. We need the funding in place, and we need program development. As programming director, I see the beginnings of high school program development in the revisioning and redesign of our middle school programs. This year, if your program included both elementary and middle school grade levels, you were asked to list them separately on the program roster. Creating listings with a specific elementary or middle school focus is phase one of the revisioning process to meet the needs of the district and Hartford Public Schools middle school model. It's exciting to begin planning and thinking about what middle school programs could look like over the next few years. I'm seeing longer term residencies, interdisciplinary project-based learning, and family involvement. Next in programming is professional development with teachers. Arts integration is also at the core of this work. We want to equip teachers with strategies that they can use in the classroom daily to extend the learning before you visit or after your program is over. The past few years, there have been effective collaboration with Hartford Public Schools Literacy Department with a focus on K to 5. This past year, we worked directly with the district literacy coaches who oversee all 30 of our partner schools. They participated in 3 half-day workshops with local teaching artists and focused on literacy and arts integration in kindergarten. We also worked with 3 schools' kindergarten teams and gave teachers tools and strategies to implement puppetry, drama, and music into their reading block. Again, we use local teaching artists to work with teachers. My hope is to grow and expand our capacity of teaching artists to work locally with teachers for professional learning. Finally, professional learning for arts providers is another component of Hartford Performs programming. Centered on shared mission and purpose, I'm working on being more transparent in communication about where we are and where we are headed. In the past year and a half, we have developed a monthly electronic newsletter to give updates and resources and invite you to quarterly meetings. Our quarterly meetings create a space for collaborating and networking with one another. Meeting topics are centered on rising to meet students' needs and continuing to better work with the district. In addition to your verbal feedback, I also look to the arts provider feedback forms to help plan useful and productive meetings. We also evaluate your programs through teacher surveys and program observations. I have a goal this year to get out at least once a month to observe more of your programs. Survey results from teacher feedback are typically shared at the spring quarterly meeting. And of course, it's important to take time to celebrate our successes and to reflect on what's working at our annual Arts Provider Celebration. Through our staff professional learning and work this past year with Recenter, Race and Equity in Education, Hartford Performs staff and arts provider consultants examined and dug deep into our mission and vision. We know that students are at the center of our mission, but did we really understand who those students are? When we know better, we do better. And in recognizing that Hartford students are predominantly Black and Brown children, and that over 80 different languages are spoken in this district, perhaps there are some things we need to prioritize in order to meet all students' needs. This professional learning for our staff has been an education for us and has made a significant impact on the work we continue to do. As programming director, I have 2 questions in the forefront of my mind and decision making. First, where are students leading? Our programs are for students. They should have a voice and a choice about the programs that come into their classrooms, and students should have ownership over their learning. Ree and I meet with our partner school principals and site coordinators to build our relationship and expand ways Hartford Performs programs can directly support students' needs, curriculum needs, school climate, and community. The excitement and intentionality of how each school has embedded Hartford Performs into their culture has really blown us away this past year. I think it's important to share that with all of you and to thank you. I know a huge part of embedding the arts in school culture has to do with the relationships and bonds you build with teachers, staff, and students. Last year, Wish Museum School and MD Fox really embraced our call to action to include students in program selections. We are hoping, with their example, more schools and teacher teams will involve students in the roster search and program selection process this year. I invite you again to take a moment to pause this video and go and share your thoughts. I'd love to know, where are students leading in your program? You can go over to our Google Classroom and post your comments and read what others have written. The second question I keep at the forefront is, are Hartford students represented and reflected in the teaching artists, culture, language, and content of our programs? If I'm creating a space, roster, or experience in which these two questions are not being asked, then I'm not meeting Hartford Performs' mission or vision. More so, I'm doing a disservice to our students. To wrap it all up as we head into the new school year, remember we're all working towards a common goal of supporting student learning. Students are awesome, and teachers are awesome too, and also very busy. Please keep this in mind as you step into a school or open your doors to our students. One final note I'd like to leave you with is to stay connected. It's a benefit to you to stay connected with us throughout the year. When I'm asked, how do I make my programs more marketable? My best answer is to stay connected. And here's how you can this year. Quarterly meetings. I'm announcing the quarterly meetings upfront and early in the year to give you a chance to add them to your calendars now. Please commit to attending these sessions. Our first in-person session will be held in late October. I'm working with someone from the district on trauma-informed practices that will complement the work we began with Recenter. January 7th will be our annual luncheon celebration this year, titled Share Your Art, Share Your Heart. Hartford Performs will provide lunch, and there will be a sign up to share some of your art or a story with us. Last year was really lovely. Then the week of April 13th, which is spring break in Hartford, we will have our final meeting for the year. Another way to stay connected is to read our e-newsletters. They are sent out at the beginning of the month and they look like this. Janika and I will be collaborating on these and getting them out to you. If you're not receiving a newsletter or have other members of your organization that should also receive them, please email me. Included in the newsletters are announcements to our quarterly meetings, updates on what we're doing, funding and training opportunities for you, and information on the new program application process, which will run this year, January through March in 2020. Check out our organizational website. In addition to the roster database, we also have an organization website, hartfordperforms.org. There is specifically a section for arts providers. It includes curriculum links, meeting notes, video tutorials for the database, and frequently asked questions. There is also a link that will take you directly to the database and a link to the arts provider feedback survey. Here I am again. If you have feedback, questions, or comments on ways we can all be better, please do not hesitate to reach out. That wraps up part one of this orientation. Thank you for taking the time to participate and have a wonderful 2019-2020 art-filled school year. I'll see you soon.